General Motors shares are down after the automaker invested $7 million in California-based Envia Systems, which is developing more powerful and cheaper batteries for electric cars.
Imagine plugging in your electric car and grabbing a coffee. By the time you're back, it's fully charged. General Motors, GM, is chasing this dream with a solid-state battery that might charge in just 10 minutes.
Today, I invite you to dive into the world of this groundbreaking battery. It represents not just power, but also your freedom to travel.
Is this the future of EVs or just hype? Let's dive into GM's electrifying journey and see what's powering this buzz. What are solid-state batteries? Alright, let's start with the basics. What's a solid-state battery anyway? Picture your typical EV battery. It's got a liquid electrolyte sloshing around, helping ions zip between the anode and cathode to store and release energy. Now swap that liquid for a solid material, like a ceramic or glass, and you've got a solid-state battery. Sounds simple, right? But this switch changes everything. For one, solid-state batteries pack more punch. They can hold more energy in the same space, meaning longer drives without stopping. Industry folks like those at Toyota talk about ranges hitting 600 miles or more, way beyond the 300-ish miles you get from most EVs today. Plus, they're safer. Liquid electrolytes can catch fire if things go wrong, but solids, much less drama. Think of it like trading a leaky gas can for a sturdy metal tank. Then there's charging speed, the star of our show. Solid electrolytes let ions move faster, cutting charge times down to 10 to 15 minutes in some cases. Compare that to the 30-ish minutes you'd wait at a fast charger today. Pretty sweet, huh? Researchers at Harvard even showed a solid-state design hitting thousands of cycles while charging in minutes. That's durability and speed in one package. But it's not all sunshine. Making these batteries is tricky. The solid stuff doesn't play nice with mass production yet. Think of it like trying to bake a cake with concrete instead of batter. Costs are high, and scaling up? That's a puzzle GM and others are still solving. Still, the promise is huge. More range, less waiting, and a safer ride. That's why GM's in the game, betting big on this tech to shake up the EV world. So, how does this tie to GM's 10-minute dream? Well, solid-state batteries are the prime suspects for super-fast charging. They're not the only option, more on that later, but they're the shiny new toy everyone's eyeing. Stick with me, and we'll see how GM's playing this hand. GM's push into the future. General Motors isn't messing around when it comes to EVs. You've probably heard of their Ultium platform, fancy name, right? Powering sleek rides like the Hummer EV. But behind the scenes, GM's cooking up something even wilder: solid-state batteries. They're not just tinkering for fun. This is about staying ahead in a world where Tesla's hogging the spotlight and new players pop up daily. GM's been at this for a while. Back in 2019, they snagged $2 million from the US government to dig into solid-state tech. Not a fortune, but a nudge to get serious. Fast forward to 2021 and they're dropping $139 million into SES, a company obsessed with lithium metal batteries, a flavor of solid state that's extra juicy. Why lithium metal? It's got crazy energy density, potentially doubling what today's batteries offer. SES says up to 500 watt-hours per kilogram. Compare that to the 250-ish in your average lithium-ion pack. This isn't GM going solo, though. They're teaming up with SES to build real batteries, not just lab toys. By 2023, they aim for pre-production models, meaning test runs in actual cars. No word yet on if they hit that mark. GM's keeping it hush-hush, but the goal's clear: get this tech road-ready. Imagine a Chevy Bolt that charges faster than you can eat a burger. That's the vibe they're chasing. What's cool here is how GM's thinking big picture. They're not just slapping batteries into cars, they're building a whole ecosystem. Their Ultium platform's flexible. Think Lego bricks for EVs, so when solid state's ready, it'll slot right in. And with charging times possibly hitting that 10-minute sweet spot, they could solve the biggest EV gripe: range anxiety. Ever wonder how long you'd wait at a charger on a road trip? GM's betting you won't have to. Now don't get too hyped yet, details are thin. GM hasn't shouted from the rooftops about a 10-minute solid-state battery, but the SES partnership hints at it. Lithium metal tech with its solid electrolyte fits the fast-charging mold. Industry trends back this up. Toyota's aiming for 10 minutes by 2027. GM's not far behind, quietly pushing the pedal to keep up. The SES partnership unveiled. Let's zoom in on SES, GM's partner in this battery adventure. SES isn't some random startup. They're laser-focused on lithium metal batteries, and they've got chops. In 2021, they unveiled Apollo, a 107 amp-hour beast they call the world's first of its kind. That's a big deal, enough juice to power an EV for serious miles. GM saw this and said, "Yep, we're in." The deal's pretty straightforward. GM pumps cash into SES, $139 million to be exact, and they work together to turn lab ideas into car-ready batteries. SES brings the tech smarts, GM brings the muscle to scale it. They've got a joint development agreement, which is fancy talk for "we're building stuff together." By 2023, they wanted pre-production batteries rolling out. Did they make it? No loud announcements, so we're left guessing. But the intent's there. What's Apollo all about? It's a lithium metal battery with a solid electrolyte promising high energy density. Think 500 watt-hours per kilogram. That's double what most EVs use now, meaning longer trips without sweating the charger. Charging times? SES hasn't spilled the beans, but solid-state tech often hits 10 to 15 minutes in tests. GM's banking on that speed to make their solid-state dream real. Here's where it gets interesting. SES isn't just about power, they're tackling safety too. Liquid batteries can grow dendrites, nasty little spikes that short things out. Solid electrolytes squash that risk, making crashes less fiery. For GM, that's gold. Imagine pitching an EV that's fast, far-ranging, and won't turn into a barbecue. Who wouldn't want that? Still, it's not all smooth sailing. SES and GM are quiet on specifics, like eerily quiet. No press release screaming 10-minute charge achieved leaves us piecing clues together. Industry chatter says solid state can hit that mark. Panasonic's got a prototype doing 80% in 3 minutes, so it's not crazy to think GM's aiming there, but without hard proof, we're in trust me bro territory. This partnership's a gamble, but a smart one. GM's not inventing the wheel, they're riding SES's coattails to leapfrog rivals. Will it pay off? Stay tuned, because this could be the spark that lights up their EV lineup. The fast-charging LFP twist. Okay, plot twist time. While GM's solid-state dreams simmer, their China joint venture SAIC GM dropped a bombshell in 2024 with CATL. They've got a lithium iron phosphate LFP battery that charges in, drum roll, about 10 minutes. Not solid-state, but holy cow, it's fast. Let's unpack this curveball and see how it fits. First off, LFP isn't new. It's the budget-friendly cousin of lithium-ion, using liquid electrolytes and iron instead of pricier metals. What's new is the speed. This thing's rated at 6C, meaning it can fully charge in 1/6 of an hour. Yep, 10 minutes. Even better, it adds over 200 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes. Picture this. You're on a road trip, stop for a snack, and boom. Your car's good for another couple hours. Range anxiety? What's that? SAIC GM and CATL pulled this off with some clever tricks. They tweaked the electrolyte, think of it like upgrading the highway for faster ion traffic, and added better cooling. Overheating's the enemy of fast charging, so they've got it dialed in. Launched in September 2024, it's set to hit GM's Ultium platform next year with a quasi-900-volt setup. That's real-world stuff, not a lab fantasy. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, this isn't solid state? Exactly. It's a liquid electrolyte battery, not the high-tech solid stuff GM's chasing with SES. But it nails the 10-minute goal, which makes you wonder, is this what people are buzzing about? It's a sneaky contender, less futuristic but already here. LFP is also cheaper and lasts longer, though its energy density tops out around 220 watt-hours per kilogram. Not the 500 watt-hours per kilogram SES promises. So why's this matter for GM? It shows they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. While SES cooks up the fancy solid-state recipe, SAIC GM's serving up a practical dish now. It's like having a reliable sedan while you wait for your dream sports car. Plus, that Ultium tie-in means GM's global lineup could benefit. Maybe even your next Chevy. Here's the kicker. This LFP battery is a bit of a tease. It delivers the speed we're after, but it's not the solid-state star we expected. Still, it's a win for GM's rep. Proof they're serious about fast charging, solid or not. Could this be the unsung hero of their EV push? Maybe, but let's not ditch the solid-state hype just yet. Why 10 minutes matters? Let's talk about that 10-minute charge. Why is it such a big deal? Picture yourself at a gas station. You fill up in 5 minutes, grab a soda, and go. EVs, though? Even the fastest chargers today take 20 to 30 minutes. That's a nap, not a pit stop. Cutting it to 10 minutes changes the game, and GM knows it. For starters, it's about convenience. Who's got time to twiddle their thumbs while their car juices up? A 10-minute charge means you're in and out, more like a gas car, less like a waiting room. Studies show folks hate range anxiety, worrying they'll run out of power mid-trip. With this speed, you can top off quick and keep rolling. SAIC GM's LFP battery proves it. 200 kilometers in 5 minutes. That's half your charge in the time it takes to microwave a burrito. It's also about competition. Tesla's superchargers are fast, but not 10-minute fast. If GM nails this, they could steal some thunder. Other players, like Toyota, aiming for 10 minutes by 2027, feel the heat too. Ever wonder what'd make you switch brands? A car that charges while you sneeze might do it. There's a practical side too. Faster charging means more cars can use the same station. Picture rush hour at a charger hub. Shorter waits, happier drivers. Cities could build fewer stations but serve more people. It's not just about you, it's about the whole EV crowd thriving. And let's be real, it's a flex. A 10-minute charge screams, "We've cracked the code." GM could slap that on ads, maybe a cheeky, "Charge faster than your phone" slogan, and watch the buzz grow. It's not just tech, it's a vibe. Will it make EVs feel normal, not niche? That's the hope. The catch? It's gotta work in the real world. Cold days, hot days, beat-up batteries. Solid state might get there. SAIC GM's LFP already has. Either way, 10 minutes could be the magic number that drags EVs into the mainstream. Pretty cool, right? The bigger EV battery race. GM's not alone in this battery bash. Everyone's racing for the next big thing. Solid-state tech's the hot ticket, and it's a crowded track. Let's peek at the competition and see where GM fits. Spoiler, it's a wild ride. Toyota's a front-runner, hyping a solid-state battery with a 745-mile range and 10-minute charge by 2027. That's bonkers. Imagine driving from New York to DC and back without stopping. They've been at it since 2017 with patents galore. Samsung SDI's in too, claiming super-dense solid-state packs that charge in 9 minutes. Then there's Panasonic, hitting 80% in 3 minutes with a prototype. Everyone's swinging for the fences. GM's SES bet puts them in this league, but they're quieter about it. No splashy 932-mile range headlines yet, just steady work with a 107 amp-hour battery. Their edge? Lithium metal's high energy density could outpace rivals if they nail production. But Toyota's got a head start, and Samsung's got density bragging rights. Where's GM stacking up? Hard to say without more data. They're playing it cool while others shout. Meanwhile, SAIC GM's LFP battery throws a wrench in. It's not solid state, but it's here now, charging in 10 minutes. Compare that to Tesla's 15-minute supercharger times. GM's got a real-world contender. It's like they're running 2 races, one for the future with SES, one for today with Cal. Smart, huh? The stakes are huge. EVs are exploding. Sales hit 10 million globally in 2022 and climbing. Batteries decide who wins: range, cost, speed. Solid state could slash charging stops and boost safety, but it's years off. LFP's cheaper and ready, though less sexy. GM's juggling both, betting on flexibility. What's wild is the ripple effect. Faster charging could reshape roads. Fewer stations, shorter lines. Car makers who lag might lose out to startups like QuantumScape, chasing solid state too. Ever think your next car might come from a name you've never heard? This race could flip the script. GM's in a solid spot, pun intended, but they've got to deliver. SES needs to scale, SAIC GM needs to spread. The clock's ticking, and the finish line's electric. Challenges ahead for GM. Nothing's easy in the battery biz, and GM's got hurdles to jump. Solid state sounds awesome, 10 minutes, big range, but it's a beast to tame. Let's break down what's standing in their way and why it's not all smooth cruising. First up, production. Solid-state batteries are lab darlings, but factories, not so much. The solid electrolyte's finicky, too brittle, too pricey. SES might have Apollo, but churning out millions takes years. Toyota's aiming for 2027. GM's timeline's fuzzier. Can they crack mass production without breaking the bank? That's the million-dollar question, maybe billion-dollar actually. Cost's another buzzkill. Lithium metal's energy density rocks, but raw materials and tech aren't cheap. Today's lithium-ion packs cost around $130 per kilowatt hour. Solid state's way higher. GM wants affordable EVs. Think $30,000 Bolt vibes, not luxury toys. They've got to slash prices or wave bye-bye to mainstream buyers. Cycle life's a worry, too. Batteries wear out, charge them 500 times, and they fade. Solid state's supposed to last longer, but SES hasn't shown real-world proof yet. If GM's 10-minute charger dies after a year, you'd be peeved, right? They need durability to match the hype. Then there's the LFP wildcard. Say GM's 10-minute battery works now, but it's liquid-based, less cutting edge. Scaling it globally's tough. China's got the LFP edge, and shipping tech across borders isn't simple. Plus, its 220 watt-hours per kilogram can't touch solid-state's potential. GM's balancing a bird in hand with two in the bush. Competition's breathing down their neck too. Toyota, Samsung, even startups, they're all gunning for solid-state glory. If GM stumbles, someone else might nab that 10-minute crown. Timing's everything. Lag too long and they're eating dust. Still, GM's got guts. They're not just dreaming, they're investing, partnering, testing. SES could crack the code. SAC GM's keeping them relevant. It's a rocky road, but the payoff? An EV world where charging's a breeze, that's worth the sweat.